Today on ETBU Extra, we continue to broadcast live from the Student Center on the campus of East Texas Baptist University. Hello, I'm Mike Midkiff. We're joined now by the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Edsel Hamilton. And Coach, your Lady Tigers are 6-2 in the year, had the big win over Hardin Simmons, 1-0. Let's go to the final seconds of that ball game against Hardin Simmons. They have a chance to hit a three toward the end to go ahead, but it didn't fall for them. They got to two and kind of got quiet in the gym, and all you had to do was rebound the basketball. It got pretty tight there at the end.
Yeah, and Holyfield wound up being the ASC West Player of the Week. April was ASC East Player of the Week, but their leading scorer was the Player of the Week. She really got going in the second half. She caught fire. I think as a team they hit 7 threes in the second half, and I felt like we were in control of the game, but they really just took off there in the second half. I didn't think our defense was all that bad, but they made a lot of shots. They made a lot of contested shots, and I was actually really surprised. We had subbed in kind of a defensive lineup there on that last possession, and the new rules, you can advance the ball inside of a minute, so both of us did that a couple times. I was doing it, try to get it away from our basket, and they were doing it to get closer to their basket, and they actually ran the play for another girl. I was kind of surprised that they didn't run it for Holyfield. I think they probably thought we were going to double up on her and leave somebody else wide open. But we did a pretty good job of switching there on that last possession and got a good contest on that shot, so they didn't get a clean look at it.
I'm glad it didn't fall because it would have been very interesting because about 5, 6 left on the clock. And then, of course, when they got the two, everybody was like going, what do we do now?
Right.
All the Tigers had to do was hold on the basketball for the win over Hardin Simmons by a final score of 78-77. In that ball game, April Leonard, your point guard, had 24 points. Lauren Lee had 18. Taylor Alexander got a defensive effort by her, 11 rebounds and 2 rebounds. Talk about Taylor's play in the ball game.
Well, Taylor's great at that. She's a great natural defender. She's got really good shot blocking instincts. She moves her feet really well. Honestly, she's one of the best ones we have when people start driving, of moving her feet and staying in front of people and not letting people get by her. So she's a really, really good defender. And she's had some games. I thought last week, I thought she should have been Conference Player of the Week last week for her efforts in those 3 games that we had over Thanksgiving. But, I guess the week before last. But she brings defense every day. The offense is going to come and go. We've been fortunate to have different players step up for us in different games, and so she's had games where she's scored a lot. But defensively, she's good every time. 11 defensive rebounds is a lot. But I've been on her about not have 0 offensive rebounds. So we only had 6 as a team in the game. So I think that's something we're going to keep working to improve. I've told her, like, if you can average a double-double, every game. So she works really hard, and she's great to have on the team.
Well, I just picked up something. As you tell me about working with Taylor, that's kind of your job as a coach. If they do well on one side of the court, you need to say, hey, you need to pick it up on the other side of the court. I never thought about that role as a coach. That's what a coach does.
Yeah, but, game to game, it's different. I think, like Tyler was just sitting here saying, people's roles change from game to game, kind of depending on the situation and who you're playing and how the game's going. And, we didn't need Taylor to score as much in this game as we did the week before. But she guards people, and she's a real presence in there, blocking shots and cleaning up on the defensive glass.
Well, let's talk about April Leonard. She had 24 points in the win against Hardin Simmons and 17 points in the win against McMurray last Thursday. She's named the American Southwest Conference East Division Player of the Week. It's the second time she has been garnered that. She obviously is a great basketball player.
Yeah, she's super talented. I mean, she can just score. She can get her shot off. I mean, she's tiny, but she can get her shot off pretty much anytime she wants to. So I've given her a lot of freedom to look to score whenever it's a good shot. I think most of our offensive stuff, we're trying to get the ball inside as much as we can, but when things break down, she can just make stuff happen. And so we try to get the ball in her hands as much as we can, especially kind of late shot clock situations. We don't necessarily have time to run a full set where she can just go get us a bucket, and she's been awesome at that.
And what amazes me about April is sometimes I think, ooh, she really took that shot, and then it falls.
Yeah.
And then you go, wow, what a great play that was. Now, you mentioned about your inside game, and wow, the addition of Lauren Lee on that inside game. She had 18 against Hardin Simmons and 14 against McMurray. She's doing very well.
Yeah, she's really kind of coming into her own, and I really felt, when we got very fortunate to have her. She kind of fell in our laps. I mean, she was at a Division II school, and they changed coaches, and the new coach didn't renew her scholarship, so she reached out to us, and I was like, yes, please, come on. So we're very fortunate to get her, and I thought just even from the first few days of practice, like, she can be really good for us because she's big, she's very skilled, she can shoot, and she's a smart player. She knows where to be and when to be there. So she's really kind of blossomed this last week. I don't think she missed a shot. I mean, she missed one free throw, but I think she was 6 for 6 from the
I think
field,
you're right. Yeah, I think you're
including
right.
hitting the 3 on Saturday. So she can do a little bit of everything offensively, and her defense continues to get better. And I think one of the things that we really stressed with her early was to be more physical and to be more assertive. Like, we want to get you the ball, but you got to demand it. And she's really started to do that, and you see in the results. I mean, she can score. I mean, if she's got somebody behind her and she's pretty close to the basket, she's going to find a way to put it in.
Visiting with the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Edsel Hamilton, in his first year as the head coach of the Lady Tiger program. And are the nerves getting better before a game as compared to that first one you coached?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think about it too much. I'm really more focused on how the team looks. I'm more concerned about their nerves than my nerves. If they're loose, but not too loose. If they're focused, that kind of stuff. So, once we get out there, I think it's just trying to react to the situations and hoping that we're prepared as best as we can be for every opponent. So we go out there and we just do what we need to do. And we've been doing a pretty good job of that. We got a lot to keep improving on, but I'm very happy with where we're at.
Tomorrow night at Ornelas, the Lady Tigers go after their second consecutive conference win of the season. They host Louisiana College. Of course, this is your first time in the league, so you've never seen LC play, but I know you watched a lot of tape. Kind of give us a scouting report on the Wildcats coming in tomorrow night.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched as much as I would like to. I've been was out recruiting yesterday in someplace that was far away enough where I got back at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's going to be a cram session after we get done here. I'm going to go finish watching it. But we did watch them play Hardin-Simmons to get ready for Hardin-Simmons, so I've got to see them play a little bit. They have a lot of new players. I think they're starting 4 freshmen. They graduated 7 of their top 8 players from last year. So they got a lot of new pieces, but they play hard. They get up and try to pressure. They're forcing a lot of turnovers. They're going to get after us. Again, like I was telling Adam in our interview yesterday, we played Shriner was a team that hadn't won a game yet either. And, told our girls, like, they're not going to be scared of you. They're going to come after you. And LC's they've already played some Division I teams, and they've played, they've played Hardin-Simmons, so they've played good teams. And they're not going to back down. They're going to keep doing what they do. They're going to get after us and play hard, and they're going to be hungry for a win. So we're going to have to bring it in order to come out with a win Thursday night.
After the game Saturday, in my role as public relations director, I get to drive Miss ETBU in the local parades around town, and Marshall had their big Wonderland of Lights parade, and Miss ETBU happens to be a Lady Tiger basketball player by the name of Morgan Garrett, and I noticed that you and your wife hanging around after the game to be interviewed, and I said, hey, why don't you come join us for the Marshall Christmas Parade? What's your first impression of the Marshall Christmas Parade, actually riding in it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'd love to go back next year and kind of stand somewhere and watch the whole thing go by, but it was great to be a part of it, even just sitting in the back of the truck while Morgan's standing up there waving. So really proud of Morgan. It's cool to be able to showcase the kind of things that our girls do outside of basketball. They're not just basketball players, they're students, they're pageant winners, those kind of things. So it's really cool to have that on the team, and it was awesome to see downtown Marshall decorated like that, and to see all the people that came out too. I mean, as we drove through, it was pretty packed. So it was a really cool experience, and I'm really thankful to have been a part of it. So thanks, Mike.
Well, since you weren't here last year when we had the ETB pageant here on campus, Morgan's talent was dribbling the basketball. And she did the Sweet Georgia Brown, like Harlem Globetrotter style. So it was very, very amazing to watch and what she can, her skills. You might get her to do that routine for you one day in practice.
I can believe that.
Well, Coach Hamilton, thank you for your time today on ETB Extra. Best to you and your Lady Tigers tomorrow night as you face Louisiana College.
Thanks, Mike.
Edsel Hamilton, the head coach of the Lady Tigers, has been our guest. Don't go away. We're going to introduce you to the new head soccer coach here at ETBU. His name is Chris Crawford. That's next on ETBU Extra.